Hi everybody, this is Noah Carspecking again with Iowa Fire Control, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about hinge kits. Now, most of you, if you own a restaurant, have either heard of hinge kits or maybe you're hearing about hinge kits for the first time. So what I want to do is basically just go over the concept of a hinge kit, why it's important, and then show you the most common used hinge kit that we have, and then kind of leave you with that to think about. And then again, you know, if you want any more information regarding hinge kits, access panels, hood cleaning, grease lock, or anything having to do with kitchen exhaust systems, make sure you visit us at www.iowafirecontrol.com. So, first off, what I want to show you, and again, you'll have to forgive my crude drawing, but it actually shows the hinge right here. These are the chains, and this is the actual ductwork right here. So this is the inside of the ductwork. So what we have to do, what our aim is at Iowa Fire Control, is we have to get that fan to swing up on that hinge and then clean down into that ductwork. If we can't do that, then we can't adequately remove the grease from your system. Two things matter here. If you're looking at getting a hinge kit on your fan, you have to make sure that the cord that attaches the electricity from the building to the actual fan is long enough and flexible enough to be able to have that fan flip up off of the ductwork. If that cord's not there, then we're going to have to make sure we get that lengthened before we actually come out there and install a hinge kit. That's the first and foremost, the biggest thing that we have to make sure that we do. The second thing is we have to make sure that the style of hinge that we're going to use is compatible with the fan that is there. The most common type of hinge that we install is the drip lock hinge right here. And this is a very simple hinge. If you've ever seen a door hinge, that's exactly what this is. The only difference is this is heavy duty, this is large, and it has a different installation pattern on it than a regular hinge does on a door because of the way that this actually attaches to the fan. So, you know, we use drip lock hinge kits, but we also use Omni containment hinge kits, and the Omni hinge kits are more geared towards large super fans. They have what's called the Omni Super Hinge. So this right here is mainly what we usually install. And what's nice is it's pretty darn cheap. And then we have one other style of hinge, which we call an oversized hinge, are 125. That's for the product and for the install. And the other hinge for the oversized, which takes a little bit longer and has some more actual procedure to installing it, actually costs $150. So really it's a very economical way to make sure that we can actually clean the whole system. But the other thing that's very, very important here, the second thing that's very, very important here, is that if this fan isn't on a hinge, and we do have cable enough to go ahead and take this fan off, and maybe for years upon years we've been setting that fan on the side over here, what I would ask you is what problems do you foresee happening if we don't have a hinge kit on that fan? One thing for sure is that this roof area right here is going to have a chance of getting a hole in it. If we're throwing the fan around and it's got jagged edges, sharp edges, screws, things like that in it, then we're going to damage the roof, you know, year after year or quarter after quarter when we're doing the hood cleaning. If we're taking that fan off, one, we're going to beat up the roof, two, we're going to beat up that cord, and I guarantee that that electrical cord within a few years after a new fan is installed, if there's no hinge kit, will end up being frayed and will end up getting pulled out, and they'll be damaged. And either we have to take care of it or you have to take care of it, and either way the situation is not good because usually it ends up coming up, gets damaged, we can't see the damage, and then you're going to cook that next morning or that next afternoon and you go, oh my gosh, I don't have a fan that's running. So that's the other important thing, is that we don't want to actually damage that. The third thing is if this is actually getting damaged right here and there's any kind of frayed wires or exposed wires or anything like that, then our hood cleaners are at risk of actually electrocuting themselves. And in the event of electrocution on a roof, there's so many different things that can happen that could actually harm our employees that we absolutely urge our customers and demand in some cases that they get a hinge kit installed because it's that important. It's too easy to be safe. You know, it's way too easy so that we can be safe, so we just absolutely encourage everyone who doesn't have hinge kits on their fans to have them replaced immediately. Thanks for visiting Iowa Fire Control. If you have any questions regarding hinge kits, please refer to www.iowafirecontrol.com.